ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Good Smile Company Godzilla Singular Point Rodan Plush toy. Based off of the first form of Rodan we saw in Godzilla Singular Point, and an actual plush toy that was distributed in-universe after this Rodan, kind of wrecked stuff, possibly killed people, all that good stuff. While the in-universe version of this plush flapped its wings and made noises, this release is just an adorable, marketable plush toy, and is as of now set to be joined by a Jet Jaguar plush, which will release later on this month, hopefully. Fam, I really can't. I can't with this plush toy. It is just so cute. I really don't know what else to say other than it's cute. But let's try and come up with some words and sentences and stuff. Look at that guy. He's so cute. But before we talk about this, as always, let's detract away from what you're all here to see to talk about something else. This is the baggie he came in. It's the baggie that I'm going to be keeping him in to protect him away from all of the elements. And here's a close-up on everything that is featured on the sticker tag thingy that's on this bag. Nothing of major importance. And now let's take a closer look at this adorable little flappy baby boy. Good Smile did such an amazing job on this. Let's take a nice close look. The stitch quality on whatever these are supposed to be on the sides of Rodan's nose/face is just immense. I love the different colors that were used here, and it really does help the little stitched in detail just pop. I mean, just look at that. Lots of care was taken in making this. Granted, a machine probably did it, but that machine was careful. Same could be said for the little bib and Rodan nipples over here, although I'm pretty sure these are supposed to represent the spikes on Rodan's chest and torso area. I don't know what this is meant to represent. I'm sure it's something that I'm missing. All of this stitched in detail is magnificent. Speaking of which, kinda like a doe's eyes, all black and lifeless. Rodan's got some very basic black beady eyes. They're nice and solid. They don't feel like they're going to fall off, which is nice. And if you're a little rough with it, you can open the mouth up and you can see a bit of a lighter pink for the inside of the mouth. The material doesn't feel rough like other Godzilla plush toys do, but there is some form of like cardboard in there to kind of help keep the shape over here so he doesn't look all Now, normally when it comes to Godzilla plush toys, when you see something like this, you expect like a harder felt, but these are actually much softer than felt. And the trick that Good Smile did was actually having the felt on the inside over here, you can actually feel it, with the softer material on the outside. Rather genius, if you ask me. It'll be like that on the other baby flap hand. It'll be like that on his little single dorsal fin back here. And it'll be like that on the little dorsal tipperoonie thingy over here. As you can see, the felt-ish stitch quality is going to be in the center, while the rest of this is nice and soft. A welcome addition to Godzilla plush toys, I'd say. Meanwhile, the little footsies over here are going to be fully stitched together. There is no felt required over here, and it's really nice how they just spring. Now, in this being a plush toy, obviously it's not going to have articulation. I mean, you can move the wings like so. He can do a little flappy flap motion, of course. As stated before, the mouth doesn't open, but you can get it open. His head doesn't move. His tail really doesn't move or stay in a particular way. Overall, he's just an adorable little flappy plush toy, and that's all he needs to be. But I really do need to sing my praises on the stitch quality with this lovely lad. Where it's not stitched in detail, it's just seams. And thankfully, there is no busted looking seams on this thing, genuinely making it worthy of the asking price. On the real, there's absolutely zero busted seams on this guy, which is another nice change for Godzilla plush toys. And here we have the opposite side of the tag with Godzilla Singular Point on it. A little bit of a last minute inclusion here, but I did want to do a quick comparison between the plush toy, the on-screen design, the on-screen plush, and the prototype plush that we saw so many months ago. Up first is the on-screen representation of Form 1 Rodan, and quite honestly, honestly, yeah, they look very little alike. There's so much more blue on Form 1 Rodan. The beak has a bone color to it. He's not essentially pink. He's more of a fleshy reddish orange with a little bit of pink on him. And he's got this discoloration of whites and yellows all across his head and his wings and everything. Obviously, a much more intricate design. Obviously, something that we wouldn't be seeing on a plush toy. Maybe the Bandai Movie Monster Series version if they ever make one. Maybe the SH Monster Arts version if they ever make one. And if they do, they better bring their A game. Because look at this. This is a beautiful design for Rodan. He deserves the best. He does. Now, when it comes to how the plush toy looked in the series, there's a few differences here. The mouth on the plush toy in the show is a little bit more wider open. The wings are obviously at the standard Rodan T pose. And the little circles on the chest are actually triangles to represent spikes. I do wonder why they didn't try and do like a spikier thing for the chest, but at the same time, I'm really not all that bummed out about it. And when it comes to the physical plush versus the anime plush definitely feels a little bit more angular, while this one feels a little bit more rounded out, which, you know, would be expected from an actual physical plush, but it can be done in real life. We have the examples. Now, let's take a look at the prototype that was shown off at the Godzilla Singular Point press conference. It mostly looks the same, but on the prototype, we didn't have that yellow bib under his neck. Very interesting. It almost looks like the mouth is a little bit smaller on the prototype version. The eyes might be a little bit higher up. I don't know. This is from an angle here, but it is interesting to see that they did make changes between then and now. The inclusion of the bib and maybe the placement of the eyes and just how long and wide the mouth is. I do feel that this thing was mostly improved on from when we first saw it, and I honestly couldn't be happier. And that is actually just that. I love that he's got a goofy little grin. I love that he has some nice stitched in detail, which while impressive is also minimal at the same time. There really isn't any negative sides to owning this plush toy, other than that he's going to take up some obvious shelf space, both wide-wise and long-wise, and just the fact that there aren't more of these. It would be nice to see Good Smile just make a whole line of Godzilla Singular Point plush toys, but I think the major marketability to this marketable Rodan plush is just that it was an in-universe item that we now have. Now, I would love for them to make an electronic version of this that can actually flap its wings and make noises like it did in the show in that one scene. But if we don't get that, I'm perfectly fine because look at this. It's a pink, blue, and yellow Rodan plush toy. It's genius, and it's so well made. So in terms of the stitched in detail, I'm going to be giving this a solid star. In terms of the quality, I'm going to be giving this a solid star. In terms of softness, I'm definitely going to be giving it another solid star. 3 solid stars. My god, that is soft. I got this lovely lad off of AmiAmi, but as of right now, orders are put on hold, but you can still snag this guy from the Big Bad Toy Store, which will be linked in the description below. And I just want to give a nice little shout out to my 2 new patrons, my good friend Noel and Boo Boo Fuss over here. Noel, much love to you, my guy. And Boo Boo Fuss, my god, that is a very generous donation that you're making here on a monthly time. I really do appreciate that, and just thank you. Thank you so much for that. I will keep up the good-ish work that I've been doing. Is it wrong to say that I've been doing good work? I don't know. Patrons, thank you so much for becoming ShinRobjira patrons. I absolutely appreciate it. If you would like to become a patron or just check out my social media and merch pages, all of those will be linked in the description below. I have been ShinRobjira. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you all on Friday with Shamathon 3 after 4 long months. Yikes. I'm sorry.
Or he go flap. Flap. Flap, I say!
There you go. He flap. Goodbye.